Well, you guys, there are a lot of cartoon shows out there that have made an impact, like SpongeBob and South Park and The Simpsons and whatnot. And over the years, there have been a lot of shows that haven't made it past their first seasons or so, but have made the cult hit status because of the loyal fans, and DVD sales, and the birth of the internet. Shows that fit this category are like Invader Zim or Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction. And another show about a fat, intelligent, balding man that is stuck in the role of simpletons. In time for its 20th anniversary, I shall review the short-lived cartoon series that has struck a chord with loyal fans over the past 2 decades. The show is about Jay Sherman, an average fat, balding, yet intelligent TV critic who is seen on the program Coming Attractions on Channel 67. His life is usually anything but roses and daisies. He has an ex-wife, Arif, that pretty much hates him for unexplained reasons. His boss and makeup lady don't seem to have much respect for him, and he feels that the movies being released today are awful, and that older black and white movies like Citizen Kane are much better choices for people to watch, and yet everyone else disapproves of his criticism. But yet he still has hope with his well-meaning 12-year-old son Marty, a hunky Australian actor Jeremy Hawke, and his supportive sister Margot. There is an interesting background to how the production of the series began, and what unfortunately led to its demise. It began around late 1992 to early 93 when James L. Brooke contacted Al Jean and Mike Ress, who were previously working as showrunners on The Simpsons, to help in making a TV series for the ABC network. At first, the series was planned to be live action with John Lovitz as the main lead. John was enthusiastic about the role, but when he and Mike and Al realized that not only was John being filmed in a league of their own at the time, but also that the film parodies would have cost millions of dollars per episode because of it being live action, eventually it turned into an animated series, since that's what Mike and Al were more familiar with. The series first premiered on ABC on January 26, 1994, right before Home Improvement. The series did their best to push away from the way The Simpsons looked like and how the humor was like at the time, not wanting to simply be a Simpsons clone. Henceforth, the character designs looked a little more realistic, kinda like of how King the Hill had done with their character designs. Also, its humor was distinctly different from how other animated sitcoms were doing at the time, like Family Dog or Fish Police, which were failed primetime animated sitcoms also. At the time, people were pretty sour to the series due to Jay's attitude, and there was also a large amount of hate mail in the first episode alone, which discouraged the network further from renewing it for a second season, especially when the show was pitted against the women's figure skating final during the 1994 Winter Olympics. Despite that the series received lukewarm reviews at the time, Siskel and Ebert both gave the series a thumbs up, offering to show some advice to make the series better for later seasons, like that there should be more parodies and whatnot. They even had voiceover for acting in the season 2 episode, Siskel and Ebert and Jay and Alice. The show was cancelled on March 2nd, 1994, which ironically aired an episode called Eyes on the Prize, that was about Jay losing his job due to low ratings and bad reviews. The creators then scrambled to retest some episodes and pitched the series to other networks, ultimately settled with the Fox network. In the meantime though, ABC aired the remaining episodes of the season between June and July of 1994. Along with the last few episodes of the Dinosaur series. The next season was limited down to 10 episodes, with a clip show at the end due to a low budget for the series. The season also had a different animation design as opposed to the first season, making the characters look more appealing to the audience. Also, this season introduced Alice and Penny Tompkins, which the first character was made to make Jay's love interest to make him less pathetic. Alice is extremely friendly and has good influence on Jay, pushing him to higher levels of succeeding in life as opposed to being miserable beforehand. A fun fact to know is that Alice was modeled after the wife from the Honeymooners, hence her name and the southern accent. Also, Jay's character became more heartwarming and more relatable, not making him as much critical and at times somewhat mean-hearted from the first season. There was some controversy about the show jumping network since there was a crossover episode with The Simpsons that aired right before the season 2 premiere at the Critic. Matt Groening was really upset with this because he didn't want the show to share any success or failure with the Critic, and wanted to keep The Simpsons in their own separate universe, which to some extent is understandable. Despite that the series was doing better with critics and the ratings went up, the series was once again cancelled, of course this time by Fox. Some speculate that the person who picked the show up wasn't entirely enthusiastic about the show at all. Others say that because they wouldn't be making any money off of it like they would with like King of the Hill, because of syndication and whatnot, and because the Critic was owned by Sony as opposed to 20th Century Fox, there would be no reason to even have it. Others say that apparently, I can't remember what it was, Oh, I remember now. Okay, I remember. ABC once said that the series was too spicy, which, ironically enough, tried to make it so that it would be more family-friendly for the Fox version, but then Fox said that it was too tame. So, yeah, I mean, that's real kicking the hinder. Well, whatever the reason, the series ended with a clip show episode on May 21st, 1995, ending with only 23 episodes under its belt. And although the show was never syndicated on other networks like The Simpsons or Family Guy, it was put into reruns on Comedy Central, along with Duckman. The network had good ratings from the show and sparked more of an interest from newer viewers. The series was almost revived on UPN with 9 new episodes planned for a 3rd season, but negotiations fell through since Fox wouldn't release the series, fearing that the show would succeed on UPN. It's kinda like how Nickelodeon wouldn't let Invader Zim be released onto Cartoon Network for the same reason. Despite this, the show lived on as a cult hit on Comedy Central and on the internet. So much so that the series was briefly revived on the internet as 3 to 5 minute flash animated webisodes between 2000 and 2001. Although not as critically acclaimed as the TV series, it's understandable that it wouldn't be as well written as the original series, since they were only a few minutes long, and only Jay and Vladimir, to which the latter only appeared in 1 episode, only appeared in the webisodes. There wasn't much time for plot development as opposed to the TV series, and served more as a purpose to make parodies of recent movies, which to be fair isn't a bad idea. Also, I might as well mention that Alice isn't seen in any of the webisodes. Jay claims that he is single and without a makeup lady since his 2nd divorce. And also, Doris Grew had passed away in 1995. Fans speculate that Jay and Alice had an off-screen marriage and divorce, but others claim that he might be referring to the Cuban woman that he briefly married in the episode Marty's First Date, so we can get to Cuba to find his son. Now hopefully that is the case. In the webisode, she is replaced with a new makeup girl named Jennifer, who is an okay replacement and friendly at least, but just doesn't seem to have the same charm that Alice had brought to the show. The show was eventually released in 2004 on DVD, along with a few commentaries, animatics, a behind-the-scenes video about the production of the series, and also all the webisodes are available too. As for me, I didn't start watching the series until around 2010. Now you might be asking why about that. Well, it wasn't until I looked around some old VHS tapes in my garage that I found many tapes that happen to have old Critic episodes recorded on them, many of which are from Comedy Central, and one's even the original recording from Fox. Some people talk about the Critic being more like a prequel to Family Guy, since of all the cutaway gags and whatnot, and all the movie references. Well, arguably, I think the Critic is much better. I think it's like because it's tame, because it's much more tame and heartwarming, it just has that, it's more witty essentially. But Family Guy has more of a vulgar kind of aspect to it. With the Critic, it was just much well defined, and it was just, you know, much better to watch in general, I think. I mean, granted, that's just my opinion, but, I mean, after all, the Critic did only last 2 seasons, so in a sense, it didn't go too far like Family Guy did. It didn't have enough time to go too far to possibly reach vulgarness as opposed to Family Guy, which started to do more of that in the later seasons. Not only that, Jay Sherman isn't your typical fat, dumb dad getting into crazy shenanigans, but yet a witty, critical, and still loving person who just wants the best for everybody, even if at times no one else recognizes that. I would say more people need to watch this show, but with all the reruns on the Teletoon Network, and the DVD set on Amazon and eBay, or the episodes being all on YouTube and stuff, something tells me that the Critic will live on as a long, living cult hit. Happy 20th anniversary, Jay Sherman, and hopefully I'll be with you for another train.